Next on End of the Day Beer Review, we're going to be looking at Sippin Pretty. This is a fruited sour by O'Dell Brewing Company, and it comes in at 4.5% ABV. Check it out. Hi everybody, and welcome to End of the Day Beer Review. My name is Rich, and I am sitting in Denver, Colorado right now. And actually, I don't know if you can see it because it's probably too blasted out, but you can see the mountains behind me and the Colorado Convention Center. And today, I am going to be looking at O'Dell Brewing Company's Sippin Pretty. Now, this is a fruited sour, and it says, more of a mantra than a beer, Sippin Pretty is our fruited sour ale, loaded with our unique blend of açai, guava, elderberries, and balanced with a delicate addition of Himalayan pink sea salt. This beer pops with a bright ruby color and refreshing tart finish, so sit back, relax, and sip on something pretty. And this is by O'Dell Brewing Company, which is in Fort Collins, Colorado. Now, I have never heard of O'Dell Brewing Company. I have never been to Fort Collins, Colorado. In fact, in Colorado, I've been to two places. One is Boulder, and the other is Denver. And I've been to Boulder once, and I've been to Denver twice. This is a 12-ounce can coming in at 12% ABV. And, you know, I'm more of a stout person. Anybody who watches this channel knows that. So this is a new type of beer. I've had sours before. I have not had one from the Midwest or West. Been having a running argument about that while I'm out here. Again, if you can throw a comment down below, is Denver the Midwest or the West? I think it's the Midwest. A friend of mine thinks it's the West. I'm going to keep calling it the Midwest. I do not have the proper glassware, so we're going to be trying this in a hotel glass. And as I said in a previous video, the hotel glasses here are actually clean, which is fantastic. I can actually use them for the pour and for sipping it. Now, I'm going to pour it in. And now the description said a ruby color. This does not look like a ruby color to me. In fact, if anything, this looks like a very, very effervescent or carbonated pink grapefruit juice, which is not my favorite thing. About at its highest, it was about a pinky worth of head. You know, it's definitely a little cloudy. And again, here, I'll bring it up closer to the camera. Not what I would consider a ruby color, what I would consider more of a grapefruit, a pink grapefruit color. Let's test the nose. Now, I have to admit, I have very limited experience with elderberries. I think the last time I had it was in the Backyard Stout by Goose Island, and I wasn't thrilled with it. But, you know, the aroma here, this is going to sound really funny. It actually does, and maybe it's psychosomatic because of the color. I'm getting a little bit of a grapefruit aroma from it, but you can actually smell the sourness here. It's almost like if you ever put your nose up to a bag of like Sour Patch Kids. Like they smell fruity, but you can smell just a hint of what I would consider sort of a sour aroma there. You can get it here. Now, the beer is obviously not out of date. I actually bought this. Yeah, it says that you should drink this by 2/6/25. This is the end of June in 24. So this should be good. You know, it's funny. I'm getting almost a peach or an apricot aroma on the nose. Maybe a little bit of grapefruit. In fact, that's what I'm placing. It's almost like if you've ever smelled a Diet Peach Snapple, that's sort of what this aroma reminds me of. Okay, most important thing, let's see what it tastes like. Ooh. Okay, so very dry. It causes your mouth to pucker up. It lives up to that expectation of being sour. But aside from that sort of generic sourness, I'm not getting any of the real fruitiness that I got in the aroma. There's none of that peach. Even the elderberries, which again, I remember them from the Backyard Stout, I believe. I'm not getting that here in any real way. In fact, it's just sort of a generic sour flavor to it. When you swallow on the exhale, there's a hint of sort of a berry flavor to it. Is it a bad beer? Again, I don't know enough about sours to say whether or not this is really, really well crafted and it's just not hitting with me, or if this is just really sort of an underwhelming sour. But you know, using the can as the you know, sort of the guide, I'm not getting the guava. I'm not getting sort of the elderberry. I'm getting just sort of a you know, a very, very generic sourness to it. Oh, okay. I guess the reason it's this color is they're using pink Himalayan sea salt. But again, I don't see this as bright ruby flavor coloring at all. I see this as sort of a maybe a pink grapefruit color. Again, it is tart. I'm sure there are some people out there who would like this. I'm not getting any of the salt. Like I've had some of the Mexican lagers where, you know, they've said they've used salt in it, and you get a hint of sort of that sea salt. There's none of that here. In fact, if anything, I would have to say this is a little bit bland, except for that generic sort of sourness at the back end. It also leaves your mouth really dry, to the point where like sort of like doing that because it is so dry. So like, is this a beer I would pick up again? One, I did buy this in my hotel, and this was $10 for this can. Is this worth $10 a can? No. Would I buy this again? You know, again, I don't want to slam this brewing company because, you know, this is the first thing that I've tried by them. And again, I'm not an enormous sour person. I mean, I think this is like my third or fourth sour in my life. So I don't know, this may be by people who are connoisseurs of sours, a really well-crafted beer. But for me, I find it sort of lacking in the flavor that it's promising on the can. You know, so would I buy this again? Definitely not at $10 a can. Would I buy it at a lower price? Probably not. I find it sort of underwhelming, quite frankly. Now, I don't give number ratings on this channel because I just don't feel like I have the expertise to do that. But I mean, what I do give are, would I buy this again? And I have to tell you, in all honesty, I would not purchase this again. In fact, I think I said it in my review of Coors. If this was the choice on a menu and the only other choice on the menu was, let's say, a Coke, I would probably go with the Coke. You know, especially considering how low the ABV is on this, you're not going to really drink this for the sake of intoxication. And it really doesn't lend itself to that. It's just not great in my estimation. It would not be something that I would buy again. Anyway, folks, I would love to lie to you and say that I'm going to sit back and drink the rest of this, but the reality of it is I'm probably going to dump this because it's just not enjoyable for me. Now, does that mean you should stay away from O'Dell Brewing Company from Fort Collins, Colorado? Absolutely not. You know, if you're a sour person, try this. If you have tried it, I would love to hear in the comments why I'm wrong about this beer. You know, I'm going to probably get rid of this one. Not worth drinking for me. Again, it's just sort of leaving my mouth with that sort of like dry, almost fuzzy feeling. So I'm going to dump this and not finish it. Anyway, folks, I hope you enjoyed the review. If you did, please hit that like button. It helps the channel. Subscribe. Would love to hear anything that you may have to say. Is there a sour out there I should try? Is there another beer by O'Dell Brewing Company that I should try? Love to hear about it. If you get a chance, throw it in that comment. And I will see you next time, probably back in the bar.